Hey, welcome to another episode of Three Conservative Gimps, where we give you conservative views from, well, three gimps. So, we've got a great show for you today. Let's get this bad boy started. Let's welcome all the way from Muskogee. Let's listen to the dulcet tones of Lloyd Mendenhall. Welcome, Lloyd.
Hello, Art. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yep.
Oh, is it hot enough for you? That's what I want to
Well, actually, it's 88 degrees here.
know. Well, we're about 92 with about 70% humidity, so it's 91. My mistake.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the humidity that's a killer right now.
yeah.
Very
It's as
sultry in
dry
Oklahoma.
as a bone here.
Yeah, well, we have rain about every other day, and I just, the steam is just rolling off the grass.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Wow. But yeah. Anyways,
All
but
right,
yeah,
let's welcome our good old friend all the way from the blue state of New York. Let's welcome Charles Gillespie.
Hey everybody,
hello,
Hey,
Charles. How
howdy,
you doing?
howdy. How you doing?
duty, doing good, Art, doing good.
Oh, good, good. You got your basement all dried out?
Yeah, yeah,
Good, good to hear. Good.
it's been dried out for a while, and even though we had some hellacious rain yesterday morning at about 6 o'clock in the morning, thankfully we didn't get any more flooding. So
Oh, that's good. Wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, I heard, was it Pennsylvania or just having some Philadelphia? I think 3 people died from excessive flooding there.
wow,
Yeah, so they've sort of changed the weather forecast. You know, the El Nino's coming in, but something has changed a little bit, and they're actually talking about there being the hurricane season is going to start later, but it could be much worse than usual. So
Oh,
because the way that both the Atlantic and the Pacific are heating up right now.
mhm.
Uh, and anyways, you guys ever get to watch a chance? I think it's Ryan Hall, y'all. He does weather, and he really does a good job of predicting it
Mm.
on YouTube. And he's been pretty accurate on everything he's talked about so far. So hopefully, but that's what's causing this crazy weather right now is the El Nino
Right,
thing.
right, right. Right now we have Hurricane Calvin in the Pacific, right off the
Oh,
coast
okay.
of Mexico, heading
Okay.
towards Hawaii.
Headed towards Hawaii.
Yep.
Okay.
So lately, most of the hurricanes have been going up the west coast of Mexico,
Yeah.
and none in the Atlantic that I know of, where they've
Not yet.
been
Yeah.
very,
They
very light.
Yeah, they haven't had any hurricanes. They've had, I think they've had a couple of named. I think they've had like 6 named fronts,
Yeah, right.
but
Hmm.
they're expecting because of shift over the next couple of weeks that they're expecting it to start picking up, and it's going to be later than usual. But it could be they could have they were talking maybe up to nine hurricanes and possibly at least
wow,
4 or 5 of them being significant or +3.
Wow,
So
that's weird. And the
yeah,
Philippines, they only had that one typhoon that just barely hit the northern end of the country.
yeah. Hello, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin. Yep. So, ah, so it must be hot weather. Everybody is outside, so expect the shows to be light for the next few weeks.
It's always light in the summer,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
because people are going out to the lake and stuff like that. I mean, we
Right.
were out there yesterday and had a good time. Uh, my son cooked fajitas. It's his birthday weekend, and that's what he wanted to do was go out to the lake and we had chicken and steak fajitas, and they were good.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh, that sounds good.
it was delicious. It really was.
I'm gonna
Little
have
little warm,
pan
but
fried steak today.
that ain't bad.
They had a sale on petite sirloin steak at King Super. Bought a I think a 6-pack for $6.50.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's not bad. No,
yeah. So
yeah,
I had some frozen, and so what I did yesterday is I squirted some lemon juice in the bag and let it
yep.
thaw out, and it'll
That the citric acid will soften that meat up and just
yep,
yeah.
yeah, I hope so, because that first one that I had was a tad bit on the chewy side.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you let them marinate in that, for a few hours,
Yep,
it'll tenderize that.
yep,
We had a guy that
tenderize.
we used
That's
to,
the word.
yeah, it'll
Yep.
tenderize it.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy that was he was a four-star chef out at one of the big, four-star restaurants out in I think it was in Yakima, Washington, a big hotel there, and
Right.
he told me about that. He says, yeah, just soak it in lemon juice, for a few hours or even overnight if you can, and then
Mm-hmm.
wash it off. Wash it off. For those of you that don't speak Okie, anyways, wash it off, and then put your seasoning on and let it sit there. If you got a favorite marinade, you can do that. It says you can take the cheapest cut of steak and do that, and he says, and they'll come out tender every time.
Right.
He says because sometimes they can't always go get the best cut of meat. If they've had a
Right.
big run on the restaurant and they need
Mm-hmm.
something, they send them up to the grocery store and get the cheap cuts. To
Right.
use for whatever steak meals they have. He says that's what he does. He says he sometimes they just have to do that. But
Welcome to Three Conservative Chefs.
yes, three conservative chefs.
So, the first topic we're going to talk about is Donald Trump is asking the court to delay his trial on the the
That
Documents
documents.
thing.
trial. Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing, that
Documents. Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. The documents trial. Yeah.
Documents trial. He's trying to get that uh, uh, delayed until after the election.
Yeah. And there's a good chance that they could uh it could be thrown out. I mean because from what I'm hearing now is he really has not violated the law, which I knew he
Right,
hadn't anyways, but they're really starting to push the issue that under the Presidential Documents Act uh, uh, that he has not violated any laws. As a matter of fact,
right,
if anybody has, it would be Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
right, right.
But I think they're trying to. I honestly, and I've had this. I'm sure other people float. I think they're just trying to take out both the front runner, or both the Democrat and Republicans. Just get rid of those two because they seem to be going after El Presidente.
Yeah.
Hello, Steve,
Hey, Steve.
and
Steve and Dustin.
yeah, and Dustin. Yeah, they seem to be going right now. They've was it New York Times, I think, put an op-ed piece out about the president, and you know, it's like they're suddenly waking up and realizing that hey, he's not really all there. Maybe we
Yeah.
need to be considering somebody else.
Well, and considering who his vice president is,
Yeah, I
and
really suspect they'll probably get rid of her first,
right,
and
mm-hmm,
then they'll they're trying to keep him in office as long as they can so they can come up with a way to get rid of her and then appoint somebody who can pick up afterwards.
mm-hmm,
Might be your friend from there in Colorado.
yep, Jared or Gavin.
Yeah, or Gavin. Yeah.
Yep. Boy, it just amazes me how the heck Kamala Harris got to be Attorney General of California. And wasn't she a senator from California briefly? I think
No,
she
she
took
was she was
Botzer's
she was
seat.
Attorney General. She was AG.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was AG. Yeah.
okay.
And the rumor has it she slept her way to the top, but
Yeah.
that's an elected position, I believe. So, well, it is in Oklahoma. I don't know if it is in California. It may be a political appointment in California, but
No, she was elected, but uh, she
How do you go
slept
from
with
nothing
Willie
to being elected
Brown, so
AG?
yeah, yeah.
yeah, she's a yeah
She can't even
she's
put
now
two sentences together.
yeah, and
Oh, I
I
just
guess
read what she had to say today about was it AI
probably yeah.
or if it wasn't AI, it was some other sort of subject which requires a bit of intelligence to understand.
Mm.
And just sweet mother of God, hearing her talk,
Oh yeah, relevance
just
of
reading the words.
time.
I didn't hear her talk, but just reading the words was like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, it makes your head hurt. Yeah,
Well, she's a czar of artificial intelligence, and I'm thinking, well, obviously her intelligence is artificial because she doesn't
more
have
like
any real intelligence.
Bazaar of intel.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's oh my god, it's just it. She's ludicrous. I mean,
Yeah.
she's it's like we've talked about. All that cocaine floating around there. That's why she giggles so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, speaking of the Republican Party, it looks
Oh,
like
we were.
DeSantis has fallen in the polls, and Christie, uh, is kind of floundering about. I mean, yeah, we don't. We already had a fat president. His name was Howard Taft,
Howard
so
Taft.
we
Yeah,
don't need another.
another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Governor Krispy Kreme. I
I
mean,
think
you
Lloyd
see.
voted for Howard Taft.
Oh, I would. I didn't register that year, so I couldn't vote
Oh,
that year.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went. Oh, you voted for Roosevelt.
That's right. I was on the Bull Moose Party. Yeah.
Theodore. Yeah. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was
I
third
voted for.
party that year.
Yeah, third party. I went with Teddy all the way. Hey,
Hmm.
only Roosevelt worth a shit. Whoops.
Yeah.
Did I say that out loud? Didn't mean to use that word on this channel. My channel, I would have, but yeah. Anyways,
Don't worry, we only got one person watching, so.
yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
What were
got
we talking about?
Nikki Haley
Yes.
and Tim Scott, the young'uns, and
Yeah.
so
They're already talking to Tim Scott. They in an interview they did with Trump today. Trump really likes Tim Scott and thinks that he would make a great vice president. So,
yeah,
of course, Tim Scott's answer is, "I can't be the vice president under Trump because I'm going to win the nomination." You know, he's he says, "I've got to believe that," or he says, "There's no point in me running," and he's right. He's got to
yeah.
believe he's going to win the nomination, or he's just wasting his time and everybody else's money.
Hey, we just
So
increased our views by 50%.
yeah,
Dominic here.
Dominic's watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
while he's
Dominic.
driving, he's
Yep.
listening while driving. Okay, that's good. That's
Uh-huh.
better. We don't want him watching and driving. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting, and to be honest with you, I think Tim Scott would make a great vice president under if Trump wins the nomination. Right now, this is what's got the Democrats worried, is that Trump is actually beating Biden for a change
Oh, that's
in
good.
the polls.
Hmm.
And they're really worried that if, they're going to do everything they can to keep Biden from getting the nomination.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't get the nomination, well, then Kamala Harris, they don't have to worry about her either. So,
Yeah. Well, Gavin Newsom is ahead of RFK, and
yeah,
Biden is still leading in the polls. And
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I'll be honest with you. I still would not be surprised to see RFK jump ship.
yeah.
Either go third party or go Republican. You
Yeah.
know, he'd be a
Well, if
rhino,
he
but
goes third party, that helps Trump out because he'll
yeah, that helps
split
Trump
the
out.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
He'll split the Democratic ticket. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd to see somebody by the name of Kennedy being interviewed on Fox News. It's just other than the Kennedy from Kentucky.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. That Kentucky
John
or
Kennedy.
no Louisiana.
Is he from Louisiana?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I
Kentucky
mean,
would be the turtle.
oh yeah, okay, yeah.
For those
Anyways,
of you who don't know, it's McConnell,
yeah,
known
McConnell,
as the turtle.
Little Mitch,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm. And I
yeah.
think the other is it. I think it's Rand Paul is the other senator.
Is he? Is he from Kentucky? Yeah, he might be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Kentucky popped in my head because
Yeah.
it just did. But anyways, but yeah, it's funny that Robert Kennedy is getting a lot of traction with the conservative channels. I think what they're wanting is for him to run third party and screw up Biden's.
Right.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that'd be
Yep.
perfect.
Because
That would.
Democrats are really beating him up because of his
Yeah, yeah.
stance on the pharmaceutical.
What's his stance on pharmaceuticals?
Oh, how this whole uh, the vaccines for
Oh yeah,
COVID.
yeah. He's an anti-vaxxer. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's and looking back when you look at his father's politics and his uncle's politics,
Mm-hmm.
they not Uncle Ted but Uncle John.
Yeah.
But when you look at their politics, they were a lot more conservative than what's in the Democratic Party now. And
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think back
They
then,
were.
though, you could actually be considered a conservative Democrat.
You could, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
We still have a few of them around here.
Yeah.
The old blue
I
dog
think
Democrats.
they were called Scoop Jackson Democrats.
Scoop Jackson Democrats.
Yeah, he was conservative Democrat back.
Yeah,
He's the one that was strong on the military,
yeah.
and
Okay.
all the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
Democrats were,
yeah,
anti-military.
yeah. Well, when you look at, look at what Lyndon Johnson did as far as the Vietnam War went. I mean, he was,
Yep.
but that was part of the military, the industrial military complex.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of money tied up there, and they were all paying his wages.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that Robert Jr.'s politics are far closer to his dad's than he is the rest of the Democrats. And
Mm-hmm.
and here in Oklahoma, we still have some of those blue dog Democrats. That's what we call them here, you know. And they're just old school Democrats uh, that believe in God and country and guns.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But they have a little bit of social awareness, but they're not woke. Matter of fact, I'm not sure there's any left because most of them, when Pelosi was Speaker of the House, and once Trump got in office and they started all that silliness that she would, all those impeachment stuff, they just washed their hands of it and
Mm-hmm.
switched parties. Which you're seeing a lot of that going on now. You're seeing in the state houses where Democrats are not getting the support and they're
Right,
switching over to
especially
Republicans.
in Georgia, where
Mm-hmm.
that state
Yeah.
senator from
Yeah.
a blue district
From a blue
became
district.
a Republican because she had a real issue about education.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah.
Be-
You know,
hey,
and
why aren't we helping these kids out? Because the
yeah, because she
Democrat
was
Party is in the
right
pocket of the
of the
teachers union.
yeah, and that's the thing. The teachers union would not. They're not going to benefit if the kids go to private school because those schools don't. Their teachers aren't in unions. You know, those
Yeah,
most of those private schools they're not in the union, and uh,
they probably get better benefits and get paid better as well.
my cousin's daughter is a school teacher. She does the all the advanced placement, you know, AP
Right.
students in science and mathematics. She does the drone 3D printing. They got special, all sorts of different stuff like that.
Right.
And she was doing that at the public school because she had when she that helped to pay off part of her student loan. She worked at a public school,
Mm-hmm.
and it was so bad they got no support. It was just well, she actually ended up going back to what's called Metro Christian Academy up in Tulsa, which is where she graduated high school from. And now she's a teacher there, and she's doing phenomenal. And she says it's just instead of having to bring in all sorts of stuff to make her own posters and displays and stuff like that, they just took her down the hall and says, "Here's everything you need right here. Just get whatever you need out of the closet. We'll reimburse it later. We'll fill it back
Oh,
in." And she's like,
wonderful.
she's got 10 3D printers going at a time now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. So they're really on top of things, and
Mm-hmm.
they, but she's Christian, but she's a matter of fact, she'll be doing mine and Judy's funerals if she's still around when we finally croak, because she did her grandmother's funeral, and I just cracked up laughing. I thought it was the funniest. I said, "I want you doing my funeral," and she said, "Oh, I can have fun with your funeral because I know a lot about you." I said, "Go for it."
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and Judy asked her too, and so and she's young enough. She's I think she's 40 now or 40,
Yeah.
41 maybe. I've lost track.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep track of all them damn kids. But anyways, uh, it's like she's teaches in a conservative Christian school, and these kids, well, they've got manners. They've got,
Yeah.
she doesn't have to. She doesn't feel threatened in the classroom,
Ah.
and they're not union teachers. And yet they get paid better. She gets paid better. She has safer
Mm-hmm.
working conditions. She doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
She's not out of pocket like she was in the public schools. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's why the teachers union are against school vouchers. You know,
Right. Mm-hmm.
and that's
Yeah,
why that one.
because that'd be competition. They might have to, I don't know,
It,
be better at
teach.
their job.
Yeah, they might actually have to do their job
Uh,
instead of
boy.
teaching the rainbow system. They might actually have to
Yeah.
teach reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of children, did you know in California the Democrats voted down uh, harsher sentences for child trafficking?
Do what now? Say that again.
California state legislatures just voted against harsher punishment for child sex trafficking.
That's what I thought you said. I was reading what Ed wrote up there
Yeah,
above
I
my
just
thumbs.
saw
It
what yeah.
caught me off guard. So, and then I heard that, and I thought, did I hear that right? And yeah, well, they'd have to lock up 90% of Hollywood, I think, if they
Yeah,
had,
that's true. So,
most of Hollywood and Los Angeles, all the rich muckety mucks would be in trouble
mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
so of course they're going to vote for that.
yep,
It is a
yep.
sad society we live in when it gets like that
Yeah,
too. It's
I
just
know. It just amazes me. I watch a lot of Gutfeld on YouTube,
hmm
and I'm like, oh, really? They're talking. Oh, geez,
yeah.
it's amazing
Yeah.
what's going on out there. Alrighty, so our next topic is Bidenomics. Is it working? Is it the big component to Bidenomics is the Green New Deal. You know, and that's why
I didn't like the Green Old Deal. What the hell's the New Deal going to make it any better?
So a lot of the policies are tied into, climate change and all this garbage. It's gonna bankrupt the country. You know.
Yeah, you're right, Ed. They do.
Yeah, I want to go see that movie. I heard a lot
I want to
about
see
it.
it too.
That I want to see Oppenheimer. I hear that's a good movie.
Yeah. Have you seen the size of the reel for the IMAX? The IMAX film for which is about that. The reel is so big that it almost is too big for it to sit on the reader. The platter. It's the
Wow.
biggest. It's the biggest reel of film they've ever, put out. For the movie Oppenheimer. It's the biggest. I think it set the record because it just barely. I mean, it literally just almost barely fits on there. Actually, hangs over a lot. So,
how long is that?
I'm thinking like 3 hours or more.
Ooh,
2.5, 3 hours. It's pretty long. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty long. But
does it just cover his time at Los Alamos, or does it go
I don't know. I
earlier
don't know
in this year?
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I really don't. All I've seen was them showing how big the IMAX reel is for that. And I mean, good God, they have to ship. It looks like they have to ship it on a flatbed semi truck. It's huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really surprising because I wasn't really aware that many theaters would still be using physical film, because way back in, when was that? 98, I was working at Hoyt's in Crossgates Mall in Albany, and back then they were in the process of converting over to a digital display system.
Was that an IMAX studios, or was that standard?
It was one of those Cineplex kind of things. It was like
right.
You had 18 or 21 screens or something.
Yeah. Most of those have gone digital, but IMAX is still on film because it shoots at, I don't know. I think it's bigger than 35 millimeter.
It's a 70 millimeter.
70 millimeter. Yeah. 70 millimeter. So you think about that and how long it is, and it's huge. But yeah, they got it on film. I would have thought that they would have done digital, but I'm not sure that the IMAX cameras have been converted to digital yet. So yeah, 70 millimeter. You're right. Yeah, I knew it's huge. Yeah, because it's double the size of a 35.
Right.
Which most theaters are what? Are they 35 millimeter?
Yeah,
or are
they're 70 millimeter
right,
now. Yeah.
Do what?
They have been for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
So anyway, Bidenomics is focus on infrastructure, clean energy, and semiconductors. They're touting the fact that construction spending manufacturing facilities have doubled since 2021. And they.
So now we've got two.
Yeah, I'm thinking, was anything actually built in 2021?
I just had to throw that one out there.
Well, yeah, and I'm thinking, was anything actually built in 2021 that they could double? Yeah. They could put one up, and that's double what they put out in 21 because everything was shut down for COVID in 21.
Yeah.
So they weren't doing any building in 21, so yeah, they probably did double their output.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And empowering and educating American workers. So
okay.
And now they're touting the unemployment rate is as low as it's been, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I said that's BS. I think a lot of it is people that have stopped looking for work, and that's what's
Yeah.
driving down the inflation rate and the
Yeah.
participation rate. They took that out of
Right.
the not the inflation, unemployment rate.
Unemployment rate. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
inflation is still burning. I mean, because gas is almost $4 a gallon here in Denver.
Well, it's back up over $3. It was about $3, and let's see, in the last 3 weeks, it's jumped about 20 cents. So
Mm-hmm.
And we,
Yep.
we live in Oklahoma. We got a lot of oil here. We got a lot of refineries here, and our gas is usually cheaper than a lot of places. And we're still like 309 to 319 a gallon,
Wow.
for gas. Which,
Right.
when it starts getting over $3 a gallon, is when we know it's rising again. But
Yep.
yeah,
Well,
but the whole climate change and all of this crap is not going to change until they make China and India become part of it.
right. Mm-hmm.
I brought this up I was talking to my grandson yesterday. Back in the day when we had everybody was using hairspray and spray deodorant and everything that had fluorocarbons in it, that was destroying the ozone.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got all these smog in, so we got rid of that so that the ozone hole would close back up. Now we got all this smog that's creating too much ozone. Let's bring back the fluorocarbons and balance it out.
Mm-hmm.
Can anybody explain why we couldn't do that?
Well, they're even talking about, blocking out the sun.
Blocking out
so
the
they
sun.
could,
I can just see it, a giant umbrella.
Yeah.
He apparently, Gerard Butler did a movie called Geostorm.
Right.
And
they about last.
Yeah. And the satellites around there. And when they started failing, of course, then we had an ice age in the middle of the Sahara Desert, and we had up in the Arctic Circle, we had all of it was 110-degree temperatures, because the satellites were screwed up. Well, I saw how it worked in the movie, and I'm really scared that I don't want them to try that. What are they going to do? Put a giant? That's about as intelligent as when Jed Clampett wanted to pump the smog out of the L.A. Valley through the mountains, and you have a big giant fan and just vacuum it out. Do you remember that episode, Charles?
No, I didn't see that episode.
Yeah, they were trying to convince him that to get rid of the smog in Los Angeles, they were going to put a big giant fan right through the mountains in a tunnel, and they were going to just vacuum it all out and pump it out over into the desert areas.
Yeah.
And of course, Jed was going to help. He thought
You're sure that was just a Beverly Hillbillies plot, that they're not thinking about doing that?
Well, I'm thinking that's what they're doing. Yeah,
it sounds so ridiculous. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's
be really suggesting this nowadays.
Yeah, but yeah, there was an episode of the Beverly Hillbillies, and they were trying to get Jed's money, is what they're trying to do, but it sounded logical to him. Hey, so I'm thinking, let's put an umbrella in the sky and let's start bringing back fluorocarbons to thin down that ozone layer.
And plus, the biggest factor in our weather is the sun. And the sun goes through dimming
cycles
and brightening periods, and there's nothing we could do about it. And that's what I keep pointing out to some of my friends that are these climate alarmists, saying, well, we're going through a dimming period. And they're like, oh, that's preposterous. The sun is like a great big a nuclear furnace that's perpetual. And it's like, they have these things called black
hole. Yeah.
Black spots. And then we have
black holes come
periods
from.
of solar storms where the sun ejects a lot of mass through its
That's
atmosphere that hits the Earth and what's protecting us? Our magnetic poles and the Van
yes,
Allen belt protect
yeah,
us.
yeah, and that's
Although
that's what creates
sometimes,
the aurora borealis too. Is
yep,
those
that's right.
The ejecta,
coming from the ejection. Yeah, so
Yep,
uh
eh,
yeah is
yep.
what was it?
CMEs, that's right.
Yeah,
Coronal mass eject. Yep.
yes.
God set everything up perfectly. We don't need to be screwing around anymore with it.
No, we pretty well
Yeah.
made a mess of it anyways. It's just like, well, Ed was talking about it there in the 80s. I remember, and because I was stationed in Tucson in in late 70s. That was my home base, and where I deployed from. And the observatory outside of Tucson, big observatory there, they it was all over the radio. They were talking about the cooling of the sun. They'd been monitoring the cool down rate of the sun,
Mm-hmm.
and they said if it should cool down X amount of degrees more over, and they were expecting over the next 10 years, maybe 15 years at the most, that once that cool down period hit, it would cool down our planet and we would have an ice age. Well, that didn't happen, but
Mm-hmm.
the sun did its thing and went back around because they were just starting back in the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, they were just starting to track all this stuff really seriously.
Yeah.
And so
Mm-hmm.
there was a lot of theories that were hadn't been proven or disproven yet.
Mm-hmm.
They were what they were. They were theories, but that was their theory. And now, then we came up with global warming, and the polar ice caps are all going to be gone in 10 years. Well, that's been
Mm-hmm.
15, 20 years ago,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, the
it,
polar bears are dying.
yeah,
It turns
the polar
out
bears,
there are more polar bears now than there were 20, 30 years ago.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
And
And,
you know why you don't see polar bears eating penguins?
why, Art?
Because penguins are in the Antarctic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and polar bears are in the Arctic here. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I should have figured that one. I was waiting for a bad joke, but yeah, that was,
Yeah.
I was waiting for the joke.
Something about the tuxedo being made out of rayon
Yeah.
or something. And
Yeah, it's some joke about yeah, exactly. That's what I was expecting. You caught me off guard on that one. You actually gave a serious.
Yep.
Well, there are some penguins that are in warm waters.
Yeah, they're called puffins. They have them in North America. They're on both coasts. They have them in
Okay,
Maine and Washington.
Washington. Thank you
Yeah.
for pronouncing that right, Art. Washington. Yeah. So,
That's right,
but
Dominic.
yeah,
And they're
okay,
also in Pittsburgh.
yeah, okay, yeah. There's the bad joke. Anyways,
Well,
yeah. I
I've been
mean,
hanging around Ken Heron too long.
is that it? Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, all these theories that they keep coming up with, and it's just like, if we are Charles, you're right. If sorry, I almost called you Art. I do apologize. I do apologize, Charles. Really, didn't mean to insult you. But anyways,
thank you very much, Lloyd.
yeah. But you're right. God made everything balanced, and the more we try to fix things, the more we screw it up.
Mm-hmm.
I know, and
And
even if there was absolute proof, even if it was absolute, if God came down here himself and said, you guys screwed up your environment, he's done such a good job of it that the environment will clean itself up if we don't do
yeah,
anything.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Not that
Yep.
we should continue to keep screwing up, but if we
no,
just
no,
stop for a little while,
right.
it'll
Let
clean
it.
itself. It'll take care of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and another thing, those oil wells that we all thought were dried up that we capped off. Guess what? They're full of oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think the planet is continuously producing oil.
We've actually got more oil in North America than they do throughout all of Saudi Arabia. You know, then throughout all the Middle East. I mean, we actually have a larger oil field than they do.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they keep saying, yeah, you know, we can't be using our oil, and and they capped it off, and you know, it's like you said. I think it keeps reproducing because as time goes on, the layers, you know, what created the oil in the first place. Well, that sediment and stuff goes on, layers down, and it starts breaking down, and eventually, you know, it starts creating more oil. It's just the way the planet was designed, you know.
Right.
Just remember the old parquet after it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that was imperial margarine.
No, it's parquet.
Nope.
Was it imperial?
Yep. Yeah, the lady wears a crown and she tastes the margarine and it tastes like butter. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature. You'll have to look that up.
It's got me curious.
Yeah, here.
No, Parquet had the talking tub. Parquet.
Oh, that's right, parquet. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, it's chiffon margarine.
It was chiffon margarine.
Chiffon. I knew it was
the
one.
Actress, the one you're talking about. Her name is Dina Dietrich.
Dina Dietrich. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Wow,
Dina
whatever
Dietrich.
happened to that margarine? You don't even hear about it. Chiffon margarine.
Yeah, I think it's probably been bought out by somebody else now.
Yeah. Well, it's not Land O'Lakes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, where they got rid of the Indians. But you know what? They got rid of Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben's, but they still have Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who owns the rights to chiffon trademark are now held by Seaprode. Chiffon margarine can still be purchased in the Caribbean.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, here's something. Anderson Clayton and Company was founded in early 1905 by brothers-in-laws Monroe Dunway Anderson and William L. Clayton, originally based in Oklahoma City. And and then they moved their headquarters to Houston, Texas. And they're the ones that eventually developed chiffon margarine. They came up with hydrogenated cottonseed oil.
Oh, okay. So what is oleo?
The same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just oleo was probably maybe it was probably made out of something besides cotton.
Flaxseed oil?
Yeah, something.
Or linseed oil? I don't know.
Oleo was the original artificial butter.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you had to when you got
and it didn't taste anything like butter, like the artificial butter did.
Also, it wasn't. It was pure. It looked like Crisco lard.
Oh,
you had to add. It came with a little packet of yellow dye that you ripped open and stirred it up in there so it looked like butter. Because the Dairy Association felt that was an infringement on their copyright of butter, on their ownership of butter. So they sued, and that's what. Then it turned out that farmers were adding yellow to their butter as well. The processing plants were, because if you churn butter, you'll notice it's not yellow like it. Or if you buy butter now, it's almost white. Original oleo margarine was like I said, it looked like lard.
Yep.
And then you add it. It came with a little packet of yellow on top of the thing, and rip it open and stir it in there. I actually remember my mother doing that occasionally. I thought, and she had explained to me that's why they did it, and then I found out later. Yep, that's right.
Well,
there was
right.
a real Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. Aunt Jemima's family was actually really upset by it because that was revenue that they, and she had posed for that, and and that was, she was paid well for that, and same with Uncle Ben's family too. Their heirs were drawing royalties off that.
The first commercial character that to get the axe.
The first one to get the axe?
Yep.
Frito Bandito, probably.
Yep, you are correct. And who spearheaded that?
I'm not sure. I was thinking it's the Chicano movement, but I can't remember now.
It was Ricardo Montalban.
Oh, was it Ricardo Montalban?
Yep.
God, he must have been. He was probably fairly young when he was doing that.
Yep.
Because,
right. Yep.
Of course, growing up in Denver, we had. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be, yeah. Oh, speaking of
Agatha Christie had to change
for a company, I was watching this YouTube channel, and it's a fishing channel, and it's from the Philippines, and this guy's talking about this fishing charter, and the name of it is Master Baiters. Not kidding. Go check it out. If I find it, I'll send you it. Every time
send me the link.
I'm watching the video, I'm just chuckling. Almost all the way. Every time they flash, sponsored by or Master Baiters. Like, oh God.
Yeah, that's, I guess.
It just made my right hand tired.
Oh my God, the show has gone downhill quick. This isn't even late Sunday night. This is like early Sunday evening.
Yep.
Oh,
hey, I'm like Bill too the warm up for Bill's show.
Well, yeah.
Sadly, because I'm back to working overtime, I can't do a Sunday show. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do every other week, because then I could just, Monday could be a regular day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely. Hello, Grant.
Grant's here. All right, we got our other Aussie. All right.
Yeah, he must have woke up finally.
But Dominic sent me a little blurb about his footy team playing. I watched it, and I'm like, oh, that's how they play rugby. I knew sort of how they played, and I'm like, oh, that's that's way better than soccer. At least there's some scoring going on.
Yeah. Now, was that rugby, or was it Australian rules football?
Yeah, I think it was Australian rules football. It was because I didn't see any scrums, and but the way they
you call it rugby.
It says it's AFL.
It is Australian. AFL. Yeah, Australian rules football. Australian Football League.
They kind of lateral the ball back, and or they'll.
I've always said, if American football players, gridiron football players, had to go play one game of AFL, Australian Football League, they couldn't make it. They'd probably die of a heart attack. Well, one, they wouldn't have all that protective. Well, that and all that protective padding, they wouldn't have near the protective padding.
Well, you really don't need it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of tackling, and in that sport. None that I saw, or
Well,
very little.
I think they've changed it. It used to be pretty.
Yeah,
It used to be pretty brutal. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because the British wouldn't play it. They didn't like playing it because it was too tough on them. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but then what do you expect for the Brits? But yeah,
Yeah.
but you're right. It'd be too much running.
Mm-hmm.
Those athletes are, that's why
Yeah.
they play for 0.3 seconds and then they take a 5 minute huddle and break and commercial break,
Yep.
and then they come back and play another, and they go another yard. Yeah,
Yep.
you can tell when they're all tired because they only make it like 1 yard at a time.
Right. Where
And they
in
don't want to have to go.
AFL, you don't see any 300-pound plus players playing.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, Dominic says they have one U.S. born player. Okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, that's what I was going to say, Grant. From what I remember of it years ago, it was a lot tougher than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but uh so did anything exciting happen over the weekend with the news that
Oh, it must have been a slow news week because
yeah,
not a
yeah.
whole lot of. We
Yeah.
could talk
I
about the submarine. They brought up parts of the submarine, and so I'm watching these videos uh, talking about what happened to the crew. Well, they're not going to find the crew because when that ship imploded, you know, their bodies got crushed.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you got the weight of a battleship on your body. It's going to just turn you into jelly. Yeah.
Well, Ed, you're right. They haven't nailed him for the coke, but I also heard President Biden say that he knows it's not his because he likes Pepsi.
Right. Hmm. Now, Bill Clinton got blown at the White House.
Yeah. Yeah.
Joe Biden got blow at the White House.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's see,
So
a Hollywood
anyway, they
mogul.
talked about how those peoples probably perceived what happened. They probably it happened so quickly that they never felt
Oh yeah.
anything
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it
It
was
was
just so instantaneous. I mean, just
instantaneous.
millis. Yeah, because it takes several milliseconds for your eye to perceive uh, what's going on, and then it takes
Right.
a little shorter time for the brain to perceive pain, and it
Right.
happened so fast that they didn't know what happened. It just went. Yep.
Oh, one of the things that in the news, apparently, the U.S. is scrambling to increase their weapons production because Biden let it slip that hey, we can't make enough ammo.
Oh.
He disclosed at the over there with the EU and all whatever he was
Oh.
doing
Oh.
over
That's
there.
nice of him.
Yeah, he said we don't have enough ammunition right now to you know
Okay.
you know yeah
Well, if they
he
weren't trying to
disclosed that.
restrict the general population from having ammunition, they'd have enough ammunition.
Mm.
Well, I think it's bombs. They don't have enough because they've been giving everything. They don't have enough of the good stuff that the military would really use because they've sent it all over to the Ukraine,
Yep.
and
That
he let
and
it
our economy, because
that
it's
too.
bombing pretty good.
Yeah, and he let it slip. He disclosed. Uh, yeah, he let it slip, and it's so, and he did it on public TV. So, hello, TJ.
Oh boy.
Hey, teach.
I did watch a little bit of. I think it was Justin's show, and TJ was giggling the whole show. It was It was funny. I got laughed at him more than I did anything else that was going on in that show last night. TJ's just a really nice, happy person.
Damn it.
But yeah, anyway, so like I said, Biden went overseas and told them all of our classified secrets.
Yeah. Yep.
So, which we really
The old
appreciate that.
80-year-old fart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is why I think the COVID vaccine, I think they slipped in a Mickey, make the American public stupid, and that's how Biden got elected.
It had to be something, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, and apparently, a former CEO, a former Disney CEO, who's deeply tied to China, has just dropped a massive donation supporting Biden. So there's more Chinese money for the president. Yay, China!
Oh, more Chinese and Chinese restaurant chopsticks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
guys, we've
we managed to waste an hour, didn't we?
Over an hour. We managed to push it over the line, so to speak. It was kind of a slow news week.
It was like dragging a dead dog, I'm telling you. It was a slow day today. I don't know if it's us or if it was just, the news was so crappy that there were, it's hard to come up and make jokes about the president, which, good, entertainers, we like to make fun of the president, but this guy he's a joke all of himself, and it's just like, after a while, it's something you make a joke about turns out to be real. And it's like, it's depressing, Hey, Mike.
Well, everybody in the chat, I want to thank you all for coming, and hope you all have a great week, and we'll catch you next time. Hopefully we'll have more, and I'll let Lloyd finish.
Well, I want Mike B to contact me through Lloyd at grumpyvlogger.info and give me your email address, because I still think I owe you something, and I didn't get a contact information on you, so I need you to get from back at Christmas time. So I need your contact information and I need your address and everything, or at least your email, so I can send you a gift certificate from my store. So if you would do that, Mike, I would really appreciate it. That way I have my conscience clear. And just about time for get ready for next Christmas. So, anyways, yeah, good show. Thanks for having me on. And Charles, don't talk so much next time.
Everybody have a great week, and God bless, and catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Later, folks.
Bye, folks.